Welcome to Healthcare Entrepreneur Academy, where we seek to educate, motivate, and inspire professionals into starting their own healthcare businesses. Learn from leading healthcare entrepreneurs and other business experts as they share their journey and provide a glimpse into their playbooks for success. Loaded with valuable insights and actionable strategies, this show will guide you on your path to freedom. Now, please welcome your host, entrepreneur, healthcare practitioner, and MBA, Jason Duprat.
This episode is sponsored by my free presentation for the Ketamine Academy. If you're tired of long hours, constantly being on call, or having to give up your nights, weekends, and holidays, all for an employer that only thinks of you as a productivity number that they're trying to maximize, then it's time to break free from the hospital grind, become your own boss, and finally take control of your professional trajectory. It's time you start your own practice. I know it sounds really scary, maybe even a little impossible. I get it. You got student loans, you're working tons of hours, and you may not even be a physician. Well, I am here to tell you that it's absolutely possible. Starting my own clinic was exactly how I started my healthcare entrepreneur career, and there's one specific type of clinic that almost anybody can open. Ketamine therapy is one of the most promising treatments in the fight against depression, PTSD, and chronic pain that we've ever seen. And thousands of patients across the country are looking for clinics in their area. The problem is that there aren't enough yet, and these patients need someone like you to open a ketamine practice in your hometown. Go to ketamineacademy.com/presentation for a no-cost 60-minute training on how to gain more freedom by opening up your own clinic. On the presentation, you'll discover why opening your own private clinic is a better decision than working more overtime or going back to school for another degree, why this one specific niche clinic is the easiest to open and doesn't require a bunch of cash to start, and how anyone can open this type of clinic, even if you're not a physician, by just following a few simple steps. So to register for this free training, just go to ketamineacademy.com/presentation. Hey everyone, and welcome back to the Healthcare Entrepreneur Academy podcast. I'm your host, Jason Duprat, and we are back here for another Tactical Tuesday episode. On these episodes, I share some information we're learning, things that we've implemented to hopefully help shortcut your path to success. And on today's episode, I'm going to be talking about how to get more reviews for your business. But first, I'll give you a quick update on my deployment in the COVID-19 situation. So I am, if any of you don't know, I'm a certified registered nurse anesthetist in the Navy, and I do that PRN in my civilian life, and got sent to New York City. Spent almost 2 months there, 6 weeks, 7 weeks, something like that. Now we are here on something called restriction of movement, which is basically the military's style of quarantine, sort of a looser quarantine. So we are here in Portsmouth, Virginia, doing our 2 weeks, 14-day restriction of movement. So it's not a super strict quarantine in that we're like locked in our rooms, which is what we thought it was going to be. It's actually, I think the first round of people were, but they realized that was not good for everybody's sanity, so they decided to loosen it up a little bit. We have to stay in the hotel. We can't gather. We have to wear masks. We can stay within 100 feet of the hotel. So that's what's going on here in my neck of the woods. Fortunately, we are still running the online business because there's a substantial amount of downtime. And we are on starting day 3 of our 8-day Kickstart Your Business Challenge, which is happening in the Healthcare Entrepreneur Academy Facebook group. So that's a whole lot of fun. But today, like I said, I'm going to talk to you about how to get more reviews for your business. 90% of consumers actually rely on reviews before making a purchasing decision. So it's really important. You want to have as many high rating 4 and 5 star reviews, 4.5 and 5, that you can get. Add social proof. People are using them to make decisions. And actually, one thing I was reading in a Forbes article was that over 80% of people who look at reviews treat those reviews and value them as much as they trust them as much as they would a recommendation from a friend. So that just goes to show you how much power is in a review. And you want to make sure that you obviously have those reviews up and that they are, for the overwhelming majority, they are very good reviews, 4.5, 5-star type things. So you can get reviews from a variety of different locations and put them on a variety of different platforms. So Google reviews is probably one of the most common. Obviously, if you sell on Amazon, you're going to get your Amazon reviews. You can put reviews on your website, although obviously those can be essentially manipulated by the website designer, the website creators. So most people are savvy to the fact that those carry a heck of a lot less weight because they may have been altered. They may not even be true. If you look at some of these website templates, they literally come with essentially the template already designed with reviews and 5-star reviews already like built into a website template. So clearly you can't really trust a business's own reviews that are like sort of just star ratings or essentially written text reviews because those could have been created. Also, you can get reviews for your course hosting platform. And then there's obviously things like, there's something called Capterra, which I'm not super familiar with, but apparently that helps you get reviews. And then obviously like things like Yelp. So the idea here is to get reviews from customers who are happy with their service. And so one thing that I recently learned about, I haven't implemented yet, but it's called using a net promotion score survey to essentially find out who's happiest with your business and the service they received. So if people are giving their experience at your business a 9 or a 10, they're very likely to give you an extremely good review. And so sort of pre-screening who you ask for reviews is one good way to make sure that you're not you're not just blanket emailing your entire customer list, because there may be a couple customers in there who had a less than stellar experience and maybe they didn't tell you about it and you don't know, and then they go and get that review link and they're still a little disgruntled and they go and leave a negative review. So that's probably one of the worst ways to try and get reviews, to just blanket email or blanket request everybody. I heard about using this net promoter score survey system to sort of pre-screen to make sure that you're going to get reasonable reviews. And you sort of frame that, and you could frame that in sort of a blanket email possibly. In that, you lead in saying that if you had a bad customer experience, bad experience, something you weren't happy with, something you want to leave feedback regarding, we want to know about it. And this is how you let us know. So you lead in, so you're sort of screening out those who may have had a bad experience by telling them to contact you directly. And then you can, sort of frame it the following paragraph or further down the email. If you had a great experience, here's the link. We would love to hear that feedback too. So that way you're sort of reducing the number or the potential for negative feedbacks to show up on a public forum or public review site that you have no control over. You can't edit those at all. You can't take them off. You can't do anything. So you want to be very strategic about how you ask for those reviews, because you don't want to elicit negative reviews. You want to address those first before they get to a public forum or a public review site. And one strategy is to essentially incentivize people for their time. When we first started asking for reviews, it was tough. Like, people's time was really valuable, and that's one obstacle you're going to have to overcome when you're asking them for a review. And so if you don't offer any sort of incentive, it does get harder. Your response rate drops substantially. And certain websites like Google, they specifically say you're not allowed to incentivize a customer to leave a review. They originally started with a policy that said you can't incentivize somebody to leave a good review, and then they changed it to say you can't incentivize them at all to leave any review. So if you get caught doing something like that, then they can dismantle your Google business listing, which is could be drastically devastating for your business. So you don't want to break any rules, especially like big powerful sites like Google, to elicit reviews. But what you can do for other types of things is things that don't have those policies, is give a little bit of an incentive. Maybe you can offer them as a compensation for their time, not in compensation for a good review. You want to compensate them for an honest review, and you're going to thank them for their time. Maybe you buy them a cup of coffee. So you give them, a $10 or $15 Starbucks gift card, or maybe a gift card to a chain restaurant, or something like a gift card to Amazon. Those are really easy to deliver. You can usually purchase those right online. They can be delivered electronically in email. And the key there is to ask for an honest review, and you're not paying them for a good review. You're not rewarding them to give a great review. You're asking them for an honest review, and you're essentially incentivizing them for taking the time to do that, because it does obviously take time to leave a review. And depending on who you're serving, some people's time is worth a lot. If you're trying to get reviews from CEOs, you're going to be their time is worth hundreds, many hundreds, if not thousands of dollars an hour. Physicians, hundreds of dollars an hour. So why would they want to go and take 15 minutes of their time to leave a review if they're not going to get at least something out of it? So incentivization is key when allowed by the platform, and you'll probably get a better response rate that way. And then also, you want to remove as many barriers as possible. So if you're asking for reviews, don't make people go and find a site to leave a review for you on. Literally, you want to just have the review link right there available for them. If you start asking people to go search for a place to leave a review, or you don't give them a link, or you start to send email instructions with like 3, 4, 5, 7 steps to figure out how to leave a review, people are not going to do that. You're going to have a super low response rate because you've just increased the amount of time and the barriers that they're going to encounter when trying to leave a review. So there are websites where you can, especially for Google reviews, you can generate a link. So if you just go to Google and you Google review link generator, there's several websites. One, I'm not sure if it's still up, but it used to be like whitesparks.ca, I think. But that'll generate a link that goes directly to your Google Business Page's review pop-up window. And that's probably the most convenient way for somebody to get leave a review. It literally takes them directly to that spot. So you definitely want to make it as easily as possible for doing that. Another thing that you may want to consider. So Google does say that you can't incentivize a customer, but they do not say that you can't incentivize an employee. So one way to get a better, especially if you have like a brick and mortar type of business, one way to get a better response rate is to offer an incentive to your employees for collecting Google reviews. And now, obviously, they can't incentivize the customer, but the fact that they have built a rapport with a customer, possibly, maybe that customer comes in every week or every day, but they can say, "Hey, I'm in a contest to collect Google reviews, and if you're willing to leave a good one, I could get a bonus." And because they've developed that rapport with the patient or client or customer, they're much more likely to get a review from one of your customers. So that's one strategy that you can certainly use. You can also, like I said, you can email it in your signature line, but that is a strategy, but I don't really recommend it because I think it's better to try and pre-screen those out. So if you send out a occasional email eliciting feedback and then telling those with negative feedback to contact you directly with exactly how to do that, and then maybe you can include the link for the happy customers to leave a review. That could be worthwhile. One thing you want to think about too when leaving or requesting Google reviews is that if you are requesting them right in a physical location, Google is smart. They know everything. If you have a whole slew of reviews coming in in a very short period of time, so like if you email your entire email list or customer list, and then you all of a sudden get 10 or 20 reviews, Google may look at that as in something shady going on, like maybe you paid for those or something like that. So that could penalize your account as well. So you got to be careful with how you do these. If you want to stagger those emails out, if you're going to be doing emails, and then also if you are requesting somebody to do that, you want to make sure that they're not doing it like leaving a review. You want to make sure they're not doing it from your physical location logged into your own internet, because same sort of thing, if you get 20, 50 people who all are leaving a review from the exact same IP address, like you say your practice's Wi-Fi or your business's Wi-Fi, then that could also cause some red flags, and Google could penalize your Google business account. So there's a lot of things to learn when getting reviews. It's not super easy, but the best thing that you can do is, one, deliver some outstanding customer service. And anytime you get negative feedback or constructive criticism, that you make the changes that people are asking for when they're reasonable, because that's going to go a long way towards helping you get better reviews. And as we talked about in the opening, the statistics prove that reviews are vital to being a viable business and getting people to come and want to do business with you. So hopefully you guys found this helpful, and we will catch you on the next episode. If you guys haven't already joined the Facebook group, go to Facebook, hit the search bar, type in Healthcare Entrepreneur Academy, and you'll probably miss this challenge, but there may be another one's coming soon. So definitely do that. Anyways, guys, we will talk to you later. Hope you enjoyed the episode. We'll see you on the next one. Have a great one.
We hope you enjoyed this episode of the Healthcare Entrepreneur Academy. Want to connect with more like-minded healthcare entrepreneurs and professionals? Just head over to jasonduprat.com/group to join our Facebook family for real-time interactions, insight, and resources to get you one step closer to realizing your goal. We look forward to interacting with you, but until then, we'll catch you on the next episode of the Healthcare Entrepreneur Academy.